fourth grade. So our next, this video is all for internal structures. So I'm following along with the dissection instructions that you have on Google Classroom. But if you need to follow along with the video or the dissection instructions, it's up to you. So first, we're going to cut off one of the arms or tentacles to look at the sucker cups. So you just take your dissection scissors, and all you do is snip it there. So if we look, we can really see, if we get up close, we can really see those sucker cups, and that's how they hold on to things. Then, the next thing is we're going to locate the mouth of the squid. And again, the mouth is, it doesn't really matter what side we look at, but it's down here, okay, inside the tentacles. We're going to use the dissection scissors to cut from the top of the mouth up the squid's head between its two eyes. So we'll go, his eyes are right here, so we'll cut this way. Okay, and kind of open that up. Then on the inside, so we don't want to cut into the mantle here, because we're going to go into that on the other side. So on the inside here, you should be able to see this circular structure. This is what is called the buccal bulb. So you can take it out and you can just pull it. You don't need to cut it out. But then on the inside of the buccal bulb, I might need to cut it. Let's see. You should see a beak, and that's how he eats. So there's that, the beak, and it's just like a bird's beak, and it's pretty sharp, so be careful, but that's how he eats. So I'll put that to the side, the tentacle. Okay, then we're gonna look at the eye. So let's see, we'll go with this one. So this is the eye here. Okay, and the directions say carefully cut around one of the squid's eyes. So we cut this way, like this. Okay, then on the inside of the eye, we'll find this kind of hard thing here, and it's right here, and you can kind of feel around. It's hard to see, but when you feel around, you can feel it, and it's hard. This is the lens, and when we dissect the cow eye, we'll be able to see a lens better, but this is what focuses. It's kind of pearly. That's what focuses the light, and we have lenses in our eyes too. Okay, so that's it for this part. The next part is we're going to, will you turn that page, please? I need the back side, so. Okay. The next part is we're going to open the squid up. And your squid should be mostly open anyway because they inject it. So you're just gonna need to cut really up the rest of the mantle of the squid. And if you got a dissection kit, you should have pins. So if you're able to pin it, you can. And then I'm going to show you how I know what gender our squid is, which is pretty cool. Okay, so we'll pin it open so that we can observe the inside of the squid. So when we look here, we can know that the squid is a female. And this is the eggs. These are the eggs. So we're gonna leave that alone, but if your squid is a female, you can pull them out and see, but those are the squid eggs. Now, when we're looking for, let's see, what's our next thing? So we're looking at these brightly colored things now, okay? So we've got gills and lungs, and we have hearts. So a squid has, let's see, squid has these gills, and that's what these red feathery things are here. So we'll use our scissors and cut them out. And it's okay if you cut something extra out, but just cut the gills out. Okay. So there's the gills, and that's how the squid breathes, right? And they're red, feathery. Okay, and they've been dyed. They're not normally red like this, but they dye them so that we can see it better. And if you got a squid that it's not dyed, it might be a little harder, but you can follow the video and find your gills. I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. Okay, then we're going to look for the hearts. So they've dyed the hearts blue, okay? That's one heart, that's another heart, and the third heart is underneath this. So we're gonna cut out the hearts that we can see. I'll just pull out. Need to cut them too much. There's one heart. Here's the next heart here. And the third heart, my book says that it's dyed red and it's a triangle shape. So we will look for that later once we pull out some of the other internal structures. So there's that heart. Okay, so we've got 2 of the 3 hearts there and then the gills. Okay, let's see. Remove the 2 blue hearts. All right, we'll have to flip it over. Thank you. Okay, now we're looking for the cecum, stomach, and ink sac, and this is the fun part. So first, we're going to find the cecum, and it's near the fin, and it helps digest the food. So I think, I have a hard time with the cecum and the stomach, but we'll pull this guy out because that's one of them. Okay, and the cecum, like I said, I have a hard time finding that one, but that's okay. So we can cut this open. That's the good thing about our squids, is we can cut them open and see if there's anything in there for us to see or observe. Sometimes there is and sometimes there isn't. Doesn't look like this has anything for us, so we'll put that to the side. Then we've got some leftover parts of the heart. That's okay. Where is that cecum? Well, take this ink sac, eggs out. Okay, put that to the side. Okay, let's see. Yeah. And where is it? Well, that's okay. And if you can find your cecum, bonus points to you. Like I said, that's the one that I have a really hard time with. Okay, so we'll move on. So we're looking at, there's all kinds of other organs that we're going to look at that you can see, and again, that are kind of hard to determine, like the cecum and the stomach, what the difference is. But all things that we also have, like intestines and things like that. So our next thing is we want to find the ink sac, okay? And that should be, let's see, is it down here? Where is it? Should be in here somewhere. Maybe my squid doesn't have a full one. So sometimes the squids, if they've used their ink sac, here's that third heart. Right here. That triangle. Right here, the dye didn't get all the way to it, but that's the third heart. So we'll pull that out and put it to the side. So sometimes the squids use their ink sac just before they've been caught, but this is the ink sac here. Okay, so there's not a ton of ink in here, but so if we put that to the side, but that's its protection, right? So when it gets scared, it releases the ink and confuses the predator. So our next thing that you're gonna notice is there's some extra stuff in here, but there's this plastic thing, okay, and this is the closest thing that the squid has to a skeleton. The squids don't really have a skeleton like we do, but this plastic thing is the closest thing that a squid has to a skeleton. And if you have more ink in your ink sac, then you could use this as a pen and write on a piece of paper if you want, but make sure that you throw the piece of paper away when you're all done. You don't need to keep that around. So again, there's see, Miss Johnson's really good at finding. This is the stomach. There we go. So we can kind of tell. Sometimes we found like little, I don't know, sea critters that they eat, and you can tell. So if the stomach is full, then it's eaten just before it was caught, and if it's empty, it probably was looking to eat before it got caught. So I don't know what this one has in it, but that's okay. All right, next page, please. Oh, that's it. All right, so that's our squid. Feel free to explore other parts of the squid and kind of see what else the squid can tell us. Please remember that we need to treat the animal or the specimen with respect, because it's one of God's creatures and we still need to respect it even though it's dead and we're dissecting it. And thank God that we have these creatures to learn from. And then when you're all done, you need to make sure that you throw all of your materials away. You take your gloves off, put everything in the trash. Hopefully it's almost trash day for you. And make sure that you clean up and use sanitizing wipes to clean your space. So if you have any questions, let me know.